I talked last week about Willie the Kid, this DJ character that we first talked about way, way, way back in February when we had some exclusive photos sent to us from the set, and we talked about it here on a Monday, and we didn't make a big, huge deal about it. Uh, we didn't do an article on the site about it. It was kind of a thing for the people that were here. And then last week I brought it up again. We talked a little bit more about the radio station and those photos that were sent to us from Savannah when they were shooting, and a little bit about Willie the Kid. Because I was just thinking, just guessing that maybe, we might get a little taste of this DJ character in the final trailer. Again, I'm going to keep saying it that way because that's the way they titled it. Sorry. So, and he was featured in there. Not as much as I thought. He's just in it kind of quickly. But this new trailer, this third one, is actually begins exactly the way in my head. And I didn't know this. It was just in my head, like knowing David Gordon Green's quotes in the Total Film interview about the DJ character and how he kind of likened him. Well, I don't even know that he likened him to The Fog. I just, knowing that John Carpenter's filmography is an influence on this film. Christine, a big one, but the larger filmography. I like the idea that maybe this is our Adrian Barbeau DJ character esque for this movie, kind of hearkening to Carpenter's The Fog. And in other words, a way that they could make some fun commentary about Michael Myers and even ask certain meta questions about Michael Myers, like is he supernatural, is he not? Through this DJ character and let him kind of voice some of this stuff in what would be kind of a fun way. And so this third trailer actually does that and kind of does begin that way with a bit of Willie the Kid narrating. All right, so here we go, and there is the red house. And sorry, a little bit of the bottom of the screen is a little bit cropped out. I'll see if I can make that a little bit better as we go along here, but let's and again we'll just call it obviously interesting here. Almost no decorations, but there's Lori. Maybe she's hanging up a decoration. Maybe this is a few days before Halloween. I don't know, a few days before October maybe, but and again, I've got to have the volume. I can't really be playing the volume here because we're going to get a copyright strike or something. But if you haven't seen this, what you're hearing right now is exactly what I was kind of wanting to hear in that final trailer, which is a little bit of Willie the Kid. It is Halloween. Can you believe it? We see Lori lighting a jack-o'-lantern, and we hear this voice on the radio that we know is going to be Willie the Kid, this DJ that works at this infamous radio tower, saying that it's Halloween, can you believe it? We get that trick-or-treating scene, and then here, where'd you see this image first? Well, that was right here at HDN. We told you last week, just like we told you way back in February, that the radio station that David Gordon Green mentions and talks about in the commentary to the extended cut of Halloween Kills, that they went back and specifically digitally placed into Halloween Kills because he had this idea for it in this film and ends. Well, this is it. You can see a bit of the tower, the bottom of it right there. This is the radio station, WURG, giving you the urge is their tagline. It is WURG 94.9, Haddonfield's home for new rock. And we know this because, as I told you last week, this station is playing in Halloween Kills right after Vanessa and Marcus's car is crashed by Tivoli. He gets away and Tommy approaches it. And if you listen real close on the radio, they're talking about Willie the Kid's show here on WURG 94.9. What's gonna get our moms out? And that is Willie the Kid, this character that we've talked about. He is played by Karan Harris. And he's saying, what's going to get our monster out? And he's got some really cool lines here. And like I speculated before, here, let me see if I can get the bottom of that screen a little more on there for you guys. Sorry about that. There we go. Again, he is a DJ. working at this radio station, WURG, Willie the Kid. We knew there was going to be a DJ working there, a character Willie the Kid, from those set photos that we saw, which we now confirm. If you didn't think they were legit before, they're definitely legit and for real. And he's got some pretty good lines to kick off this trailer. Again, I'm trying not to stop at every single frame, but there's so much good stuff in here and stuff that I don't even remember seeing in any of this other marketing. But a very creepy, cool shot of the shape lingering right there on the left side of your screen, very reminiscent of the '78 film. And now Laurie's house. I'm going to call it Laurie's house because we don't know any better or different at this point. A little more decorated than that very first shot we saw. He says, what's going to get our monster out? Give us something to scream about. And here we've seen a bit of this sequence in the first trailer and in the second trailer as well. And we'll see a little bit more of this character. And I can go ahead and also tell you who this is now. I can confirm that the actress's name is Michelle Dawson, and this character is named Deb. And she is apparently a nurse in Haddonfield. So Nurse Deb, played by Michelle Dawson here. It's time to lock your doors. Grab your knife for the fight. And you hear Willie now saying, it's time to lock your doors. Grab your knife for the fight. Now, again, I was just spitballing that this might be a DJ character similar to how Carpenter uses the character of Stevie Wayne in The Fog, kind of narrating the story as it's happening in live real time, like a play-by-play. And I think, at least for a portion of this film, Willie's definitely going to serve that purpose, and I think it is a cool throwback to The Fog in that way, be it intentional, subliminal, or not. And this is a shot we've seen in the previous trailer. A hand coming down, picking up a Michael Myers mask that looks a whole lot like our Michael Myers mask. And then, of course, that knife not too far away either. Now, again, here we have one of our new characters, and I'm not entirely positive who this is, but look at this right here. This is an insane shot, guys. I don't even know how much to go into detail here, but look at what he's looking at. What is going to be the explanation to this? I am just so curious about this because it looks like he's shining the light on what looks like a carving of Michael's face, of the mask. I mean, you guys see it. That looks like Michael's face in the rock that he's shining the light at. And then, of course, that's not all. If you go just down below the light, you can actually see, the shape. Michael, he's right there. He's about to attack this guy. And we saw the attack part in the previous stuff. But this has my curiosity so big. Is Michael hanging out for 4 years, carving sculptures of his mask in the rocks? What is going on with this? But it's mind-boggling to me. You guys tell me your theories, but here we go with what happens next. And we've caught little glimpses of this in the previous stuff. Michael jumping out of the shadows and spooking this guy. But, I mean, that is just creepy, seeing Michael just right over there. And this guy just enamored by what clearly looks like Michael carved in this rock. Give me your theories. Let's go back just a minute. Because again, Willie's still narrating this. You ready in case the boogeyman decides to come out and And right as he says, "You're ready in case the boogeyman decides to come out and play." And here again, this poor guy encounters a very pissed off Michael Myers. And we've seen bits of that, who we now know is Nurse Deb, played by Michelle Dawson. And I said when we did our trailer breakdown on Tuesday that, yeah, I think this has the potential to be one of the funnest scenes in the film. Again, I have no idea how pivotal the character of Deb is going to be to this story, to this film. This might be her only appearance. I don't know, but it looks, with the shower and everything, like there's some callbacks to Psycho there. And it just looks like it's going to be a fun, suspense-filled scene. And speaking of Bob, that iconic Bob scene of my new bobblehead, Michael gonna pay a little homage and revisit that scene with Nurse Deb, it appears. He's also going to get up close personal with Willie, it appears. And here we start seeing a little bit more of the stuff that we've seen before, but there's just a lot of interesting things that I'm seeing in some of these frames. I mean, it almost looks like somebody wearing a Myers mask sitting in the passenger seat of this Jeep here. I mean, there's just a lot of weirdness in here, and that goes in line with some of the comments that some of the people involved with the making of this movie have said in interviews over the weeks, that it's going to be maybe a little bit weird. That was one adjective we heard. So Michael is back. Laurie saying that Michael is back, and this is a very cool, moody shot. Getting very foggy. I like that. I'm guessing that is Hawkins running, only because it looks like he's wearing kind of a Hawkins type jacket, but unclear who that might be. And we got just a quick glimpse of this in the last week's trailer, but this time we get a tiny bit more of Allison at this Halloween party. And again, regular viewers going way back months now to when they were filming will remember me talking about them shooting this scene. And we knew from casting calls that they were going to be shooting a concert scene. And I believe, if memory serves, they were looking for a metal or death metal band to be featured at this party. Obviously, some costumed teenagers, young people, and here we're getting just a little taste of what I'm just guessing is what they were filming when those casting calls for extras came through. I mean, this would be the type of scene that would need a lot of extras and some wild costumes. So as far as the Hallosphere of it all, I think this party is going to be one of the funnest, most Halloween atmosphere-filled sequences in the movie, and always up for a wild Halloween party, especially if there's a metal band involved. Bring it on. More dangerous. And that's Laurie making that statement that we've heard her say before, that something feels different this time. Michael feels more dangerous. And again, familiar wallpaper to all the official stills and official clips that are being released. So either a whole lot of this movie is taking place in the walls of this main house, this main location, which is very possible. But again, it's got an almost 2-hour runtime, just under 2 hours. So with a 2-hour 50-some minute runtime, like I said last week, I think there's a lot of time to spend that we haven't seen in any of this footage yet. He's been watching me. And that is one of the funnest, coolest scenes. That's a really good one too. But she's saying he's been watching me, and this is Michael, a really creepy, cool shot. I always love the shots, whether it's in 2018 or H2O, both bathroom scenes I'm thinking of specifically, when you get these really quick glimpses of Michael, like out of focus, right through the cracks of the doorways. This is one of those moments, and it's Michael at his creepiest and scariest, if you ask me. The silent stalker, and that's what he does best. And then we get this great throwback to the 78 film and her seeing him down there by the laundry sheets. Again, one of our most famous scenes, one of our favorite scenes, and I talk about it all the time on here. It's just a scene you could talk about forever because Laurie never really blinks or looks away. She's just looking. It cuts away to him, cuts back to her, cuts back to him, and he's gone. Just such a weird scene. And the composition of this, I said, we saw it in the trailer last week, but I said that the composition of this kind of harkens back to a great shot in the early moments of Halloween 2/81 when Nurse Karen gets out of her car to go to work at Haddonfield Memorial Hospital, and you see Michael reflected in the rearview mirror very much like this. Here it's Laurie. Apparently, Laurie's doing some stalking of her own. And, I didn't even think about this until right now as I'm here live with you guys tonight. But looking at this right this minute, I just had the thought that that's very possibly Corey and Allison that she's watching right there outside of the radio station. And maybe one of them is an employee at this station. I honestly didn't think about that before now. Some of you guys maybe thought of that a long time ago. But I didn't put that together, that one of them might be an employee at the radio station. But that makes a lot of sense. And I'm just thinking of that bright red neon, and that shot of them, that still of them that we looked at earlier tonight. That's just kind of reminding me of that. So I don't know who else she would be stalking outside the radio station if it wasn't Allison and somebody who may or may not be a new love interest. And if one of them, if they're saying goodbye because one of them's got to go in for a night shift on the station because they're broadcasting all night because it's Halloween or whatever, all that kind of lines up for me. But again, this is just pure guesswork right here, and just kind of thinking out loud as I'm watching this. I didn't even plan on saying any of that, but I literally just had those thoughts as I'm watching this. But you guys tell me what you think. All right. And that's Corey telling Laurie that Michael's coming back for her and asking what she's going to do. And we've seen some of that in some of these promos and TV spots and so forth. And then it cuts to that shot that we got a good look at in last week's trailer, billed as the final trailer, where Michael pulls out a really rusty-looking old butcher knife. He's in this drainage pipe or wherever he's been hanging out. And here's this great moment that we saw in the trailer last week, and we see it again here, and I love it because it's Michael. It's James Jude Courtney as Michael. He's just kind of exhaling away. You see his shoulders go down, and it's like he is about to go back to work. And I think it's almost like, yes, it is time. It is October 31st, and the treats have come to me this time. That's the impression I get when he does that exhale, and I don't know what's going to happen right after that. Who knows how they're editing all this, if it's in any kind of sequence that they're suggesting. Probably not, but I love that scene when we saw it in the trailer last week, and I love it again here.
I know you're here.
And this really fun moment right here.
I know you're here.
You guys know I love the callbacks. Beautiful, perfect compositional callback to the opening scene in the 1978 film when young Michael Myers, age 6, in the clown costume, comes in to his house. His sister's upstairs with her boyfriend, and he pulls that knife out the drawer. I mean, the angles and everything, I'm sure if you lined it up, I'm sure somebody's already done it out there, but I just love stuff like this, retracing the footsteps and the shots almost to a T, making this really echo and rhyme with the legacy that it is concluding. And yeah, I mean, it's concluding a major chapter in this franchise, no matter how you look at it. I mean, sure, the franchise will go on. Yes, they might even bring back the Laurie Strode character one day. That's one thing the dumbass host of the NBC special said wrong was he said that throughout all 44 years, Laurie Strode has brought, or Jamie Lee Curtis has brought Laurie Strode to life. And yeah, she's done it more than anybody over 44 years, but credit where credit is due, people. Come on. Scout absolutely brought that character to life in Rob's 2 movies, and say what you want about them, but she did a damn good job. And yeah, credit where credit's due. 2 people in the history of the universe have officially brought that character to life on screen. Not just 1, 2. And maybe somebody else will down the road. But by all intents and purposes, I think it's no stretch to say that this is going to end Jamie Lee Curtis's run as this character, as part of this franchise. Very possibly Carpenter's run as part of this franchise. I mean, I don't know. Unless they do another project really soon, I don't know that we'll have another Halloween franchise project that is scored by John Carpenter, like these 3 movies have been. It's so special to have that. But I love stuff like this, where they are showing their reverence and their knowledge, and I think that's going to be a fun master mix that somebody can do down the road. Is take all of the visual references and shot creations like this of all 3 of David Gordon Green's movies and match them up. You know, top screen, bottom screen, right, left, however you want to do it. Scene comparisons. I want to see that. There you go. There's your homework assignment, guys.
Come and get me.
All right, and they clean up the "come and get me." They cut out the motherfucker part. And this scene here, again, you kind of know what's coming, I'm sure, and they telegraph what's coming with the music. It's a really great scene, beautiful composition. It looks amazing right here, but I hope in the actual theatrical cut in the film, they don't have that musical buildup, letting us know that he's back there before we see him. I really hope that it just pans over as she's all worried like there, and we see him right behind her with no musical cue at all. Because, you know, that's when it's scariest, when Michael is right there and the music doesn't tell you that he's right there explicitly, like this moment in this trailer does. Still, though, a really cool looking moment, absolutely. And we get some quick flashes here that, again, a lot of stuff we've seen. We see these, I don't want to call them trick-or-treaters. I don't know what's going on with this group of, I'm guessing, teenagers. A clown mask, you know, the clown motif with Michael and these movies, that goes a long way. Who knows what's going on here, but we will get a few glimpses of, I think, 1 or 2 other characters that I can now name, both the actors and the characters. And they might be in that group. I just don't know. It's impossible to tell right now. There's Omar Dorsey Jr. as Sheriff Barker, back for the 3rd time. Not many people have reprised the same character in 3 consecutive Halloween franchise movies. Not many at all. I mean, there's James Hugh Courtney who's done it. I guess, you know, technically Nick Castle has done it with the breathing. Jamie Lee Curtis, of course, has done it. I guess Will Patton has now done it with Hawkins. Andy's done it now. But even Kyle Richards, it went in consecutive movies. Judy Greer's only 2 movies, so not many, but Omar, he can say, you know, Sheriff Barker making his 3rd appearance here. And that is going to be a very painful kill. Somebody's going to get it with a wrench, it looks like. Love it when Michael steps out of the butcher knife toolbox and pulls out some other tools. And we get some quick shots like we've seen. There's our Corey Cunningham character. Suspicious bruises on his face. Discuss amongst yourselves, or don't. But I guess he rides a motorcycle, like a dirt bike type bike, and don't know what's going on here, but a very kind of David Gordon Green kind of 80s throwback framing. It seems. I don't know what's going on here, but if you've seen The Righteous Gemstones and you think of God, I'm forgetting his name now, but the oldest son of Danny McBride's character in the season finale when he's on the motorcycle. Anyway, I'm thinking of that, but it's probably not a good analogy. Anyway, there's Corey Cunningham, played by Rowan Campbell. And we saw that in the previous trailer. It's a little bit more, though, this time, where she says, "What are you, insane? You're not going to rest until you've finished it." And there it looks like Hawkins and another Haddonfield mob, maybe? Or until everyone else is dead, Allison says. And again, no clue exactly who this character is or who this actor is at this point. I can't really make it out. Don't really want to make it out. But I know this is probably going to be one of the most brutal and intense scenes in the movie. Nice shot of Laurie and Frank there. Now, here's another new character that I can speak about just briefly. Don't really know anything about him, but I can tell you that apparently this character's name is Billy, and he is played by a young man that goes by the single name of Martine. And again, the main way that I can confirm these casting these castings and who they're playing is through these actors' own social media accounts, where they have, albeit somewhat under the radar, but they have confirmed on their own official social media accounts that they're playing these characters in Halloween Ends. So this is Martine, apparently as Billy. I'm guessing a Haddonfield High School student, judging from his jacket. And, he's going to try to take a shot at Michael, maybe. He says, "I got you, you psycho." This is a quick, really cool shot of somebody about to get a boot to the face. Shades of Sartain with that boot to the face, I think. Some quick little shots, and I know you guys can't really hear it right here, but Carpenter's score is going off in this new, like, high-pitched, almost psycho-pitched version of the classic theme. Really elevating it with strings and a much higher-pitched, more tense feeling. Another great moment of Allison screaming. Man, she has been through a lot with this character that at the beginning of the 2018 film, she didn't even really so much believe was a threat or existed. And now here, we've seen this quick shot in, I think, all of the trailers we've seen so far. Definitely in the last one. And we've speculated who this might be, who this is. Well, I think I've uncovered this as well. I can report that this is a character named Margot, and Margot is played by a actress named Joey Harris. And again, I don't know anything about these characters. I don't know how big of a role they may or may not play in the story or in the overall plot of this film. But these are definitely new characters not featured before, new actors not featured in this franchise before, and to me, that's always exciting. I mean, I love the new blood, no pun intended, but I do. And we so I'm excited that this trailer gives us just a little taste of some of these other new characters. Not take anything away from our returning characters, obviously, and our legacy characters, of course. And the epic Michael versus Laurie saga that's coming to an end. We know. But, I mean, but you guys tell me what you think. I mean, do you like these tastes of new characters like I do? I mean, I'm happy with getting just a little bit of this. I still don't find this all that spoilery. I think a lot of things could go a lot of different ways here. I mean, but it gets me more excited for and here's a pretty interesting moment here where Laurie flips this knife up, and I don't know if you can see it there, but right at the bottom of the screen, that is, in fact, Michael's reflection in the blade. And here we get Michael throwing Laurie around, stabby, stabby. Halloween ends coming October 14th. In theaters, and of course also streaming on Peacock on October 14th. You guys give me your thoughts on all of that in the comments down below.